culture. That's exactly why there are 15 different aesthetics every year for white people, because
Hi guys, I hope that you're doing all right. So, welcome back. I hope that you guys are really, really fine. So, you guys, if you have noticed, every week, 2 weeks or so, 14 days, as she's explaining here, there's always a different aesthetic for white people. Like, it just has a certain name, a vibe, some sort of energy around it, but with no personality really. Like, you can't pick to say, that's the thing for white people. You can know once you spot a person of color, you know to say, this person, this is culture, like brown culture, black culture, and things like that, but not for white people, because that is why they're just moving like the wind from this end, this side, they go to this side, they pick up this, they drop it next week, they pick up another one, and etc. And I'm gonna give a little bit of a description where they talk about white culture and what it is like, or there is no white culture. Anyway, I have a little bit of some sort of research, so I'm going to share with you guys at the end of this video. But this is the reason why she's saying they have an identity crisis, especially like for young white people. They don't know where they should really be at. One day they admire that, they pick it up, they drop it next week, they pick up another, just like that. So anyway, let me roll the clips. You hear what these black people are saying, and then I'm gonna be back.
I think young white women are having an identity crisis for a couple of reasons. It just doesn't make sense that every 14 working days or so, there's a new aesthetic that has a name, a term, a look, a vibe around it, but no personality. And I say this because I just watched Mandy Lee, who's like hands down my favorite TikTok fashion trend analysis, all that kind of stuff. Her talking about how previous subcultures as well as aesthetics were named after they had a vibe and personality. That's the main key thing, personality attached to it. When I studied media in college, we looked at how the media treated British subcultures. So whether that was the Teddy Boys, mods, the skinhead, they had their names after they had personality, after they had social and political views aligned with each other. But it wasn't just this name attached to this pretty aesthetic look. While I'm saying it's, young white women, and it might seem like I'm putting distance between myself and the aesthetic, anyone can get caught up in it, literally. The reason I say young white women is because we know this app loves beauty, this app loves desirability, and unfortunately, the people who are positioned at the very top of that totem pole are young white women. Clean girl aesthetic, quiet luxury, cold girl winter, like all of these things are driven and led by white women. And then what it means is it's going to drive our consumerism, it's going to drive capitalism, make us want to acquire all these products for this look that doesn't have a statement, doesn't have a personality attached to it. I say this with love, but I do think it's time for everybody to get back to having a personality of their own. We need to stop trying to chase these aesthetics that we think then reflect our socioeconomic value. They don't. I think young white women are having an identity crisis for a couple of reasons.
I agree with everything this content creator just said, but also as a 36-year-old woman, I have seen white women solely only have to be white. 90s, all they had to do was be blonde with big breasts and be white. Just be blonde, tall, and white. What do we hear them say now currently? It's not cool to be white. Instagram first started to gain popularity amongst young people in 2010, 2011, not 2010, 2012, 2013. There was a stark difference between white women, black women, and POC women. You can go back and Google that. You could see the difference. Girls were very all-American, Hollister, Abercrombie and Fitch, and black girls are what they're coring and aestheticing now. Clean girl and whatever else they come up with. For so long, white women have yielded the power of the people around them because they have no internal power of their own. They need someone to define womanhood for them at all times. Hence the patriarchy. Instead of doing the actual work and figuring out who they are as a collective, instead of pink pussy wearing hat hypocrites, they don't want to do the work. They just want to yield the power of people around them once again. hence appropriation. One of the number one markers of white supremacy is identity theft. They're just doing what they've always done. At core and aesthetic everything, and this goes for everyone, not just white women. Your daily lives determine your aesthetic. Your environment determines what you look like. I'm not gonna walk around talk about farmer core, and I don't live on a damn farm. Like she said in the video, they gain their names by the environment and the culture engaging in said aesthetic for whatever reason it's developed, whether that's farming, around the way girls, or cottage core, which is just country. So for once in white women's lives, they have to look in the mirror and gain a personality. You know what I mean? Because for so long, this was the personality. What happened, girlfriend? Sister friend? And everyone, black women are not your personality.
I think young white women are having an identity crisis for a couple of reasons.
The identity crisis is a curse. It's a curse. And it's a curse because white people, specifically Americans, refuse to acknowledge that the only culture they have is colonization. That's how they culture. That's exactly why there are 15 different aesthetics every year for white people, because all they know is colonizing. So it is quite literally ingrained in white people to colonize cultures. I mean, think about America as a singular entity, right? As the empire. Not only did America steal this land, they stole people from another land to cultivate the land. And now America is in Palestine, aiding Israel in stealing more land. This is white culture. White culture is to steal. And honestly, I don't know why we continue to be surprised. They have been doing this for eons, for centuries. Colonizing and stealing the fucking resources, colonizing and stealing cultures. White people quite literally created religions out of other people's cultures. There is a reason why, I'm not going to get into that, but let's just keep it a bean. Their culture is to steal. Of course, they're going to have 15 different aesthetics.
Now, I can't agree any less with these ladies, you guys, because what I've just come to understand is that white culture is about taking and taking from someone else. As we have known, I can't even say most of the time without appreciation. They take it and present it as theirs, or, just off of selfish reasons. We know it from those words that I've been saying, colonization and all that kind of stuff. They want to pick other people's culture and, try and say it is theirs. We have seen a lady who was making braids before and did not even appreciate the source of braids, like where they come from. She just presented them as if it's her thing, you see? So anyway, let me share a little bit about white culture. So white culture in its sense is like very hard to describe off of what I've just said, right? But apparently, according to The Guardian, on my research, it says that apparently it's involved a lot of vegetables, alcohol, and arts and names like Yoda, like a surname of a person like Yoda. But how does that add value to a person? Really? Of course, I know vegetables are going to be like, oh, it's healthy and everything. We know that America, white people are more drawn to, wanting to take care of themselves and be fit and whatnot. But it's not really like a culture. I don't know if you get my point. Like, I'm not going to step spot on that and I'm going to say that person is wearing or having or practicing white people culture. It's very hard, you see. But you're going to see me wear a certain way and you're going to know that, oh, that person is practicing brown culture and stuff like that. I'm black, yeah, but you can see when I'm trying to be brown. You get my point? You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just really hard to define just because, stats say that they take a lot of vegetables across the world and also they're heavier drinkers than people across the world. Like the percentage of them who do that is higher. And even just research on the names, like how do you even attach a name to like a general culture for everybody. It's just so hard. So anyway, these people be peeking and sometimes holding it to themselves. That's why they are losing it, because they don't have their own culture apart from taking what others have, like taking what others have, taking advantage and all that kind of stuff. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. What would you describe white culture to be? Maybe you can set these people's right. Remember to subscribe. Thanks for watching.